Hello, this is William McKissock with Schooley Mitchell, your expense reduction consultant. And as you know, we help businesses reduce spending. The other side of the profit and loss, money coming in is somebody else's game. We stop the money going out at the other end. And as you know, we like to interview and support businesses on social media. And today I have with me for a second time Jennifer Williams, who is the founder and CEO of Global Pathways Studies. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you, William. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. So this is the second time you've been on, but to give anybody that maybe didn't see the first one or whatever, tell us a little bit of a background. What does Global Pathway Studies do?
We are an online career and certification training program. We are a nonprofit. We work with middle school, high school, and adults to help them with, finding a career path that's right for them, and then the training that they need to get them, a good paying job and or a certification.
And just to clarify, you are a Navy veteran, so this comes from a place of like you've been in the military and you want to give back to the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. So to that end, we started a program called GPS for Vets, and it is a resource hub for veterans and their families. So we offer scholarships for our career and certification training in there, and then all sorts of resources, everything from mental health resources to travel and business startup, Action Zone. We have several different affiliates. And eventually we will have an app. We are working on that right now, where a veteran can, or an active duty person who's close to getting, discharged from the military, can go onto the app and put in whatever topic that they are looking for, whether that's housing or assistance with bills, education, like I said, mental health. And then we'll have a jobs board and things like that. So we'll help with transition services, interview, resume writing, job skills, all that sort of thing to help them integrate back into the private sector.
And before we move on to some of the new stuff that's happening, that is free at the point of contact for the person who's using the services. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Wonderful. I mean, that's just absolutely wonderful. It's giving back in such a meaningful way. So the reason we had you on again is because there's some things been happening. So tell us about some of the new stuff that's been going on with Global Path Studies.
Well, we launched the GPS for Vets program October the 28th of this past year. We did that at Florida Firearms Academy. So we had a cookout, we had vendors, we had a great party. There were lots of giveaways, 50-50, and people got to ask questions, and we did some presentations. And just kind of gave people an idea. And there was a lot of support. I mean, we had support from the VFW, the chambers, all sorts of businesses that are here locally. And it was just it was a great time. And veterans really got to see how much the Tampa community cares about veterans and wants to help out and provide resources.
So tell us what's the future, the pathway. Where are you going with all this? I mean, obviously we can see what you're doing with it. Where are you going with it? Where do you hope to be in like 5 years' time?
In 5 years' time, we will be branching out into other at-risk groups. When I started the foundation, it was for at-risk groups. So veterans, teens aging out of foster care, survivors of domestic violence, and people in treatment for residential treatment for substance abuse. Those are our most at-risk populations.
Mm-hmm.
And so once we have the vertical built for the veteran resources that I talked about, the GPS for vets, then we will start working on what is called GPS for life. And that will be additional resources for teens, domestic violence, and people in residential treatment for substance abuse. My goal is that We can turn a lot of these groups into productive members of society. As far as the teens aging out of foster care, a lot of them age out without graduating from high school. So if we can get them some career training and get them certified and help them find work, they are better able to get out on their own and take care of themselves. And the same goes with domestic violence. And then as far as people in residential treatment for substance abuse, let's say they are in treatment for an extended period of time and they get out and they go to find a job, and the HR manager might say, well, you haven't worked for, a year. What have you been doing? Not necessarily wanting to, share that part. They could easily say, oh, I've been in school. I've been learning a trade, or I've been, getting my certification in hotel management or whatever. We have training for over 100 different certifications in several industries.
This is just amazing. As I said the last time I interviewed, it's just, I mean, obviously I know you personally because we've become good friends over the last few years. If anybody's watching this video right now, how can they help and support? What's the message that you're trying to portray in relation to the community, finding you as a resource, but how can they also help you?
They can help us by, maybe sponsoring a scholarship. We are happy to do that, in a company name, or maybe you have a loved one. I'm getting a scholarship to a young man that is taking his HVAC certification training, and I'm going to that particular scholarship is in honor of my late father, who is a Navy veteran and was an HVAC technician, pipe fitter. So that monetary donations, sponsorships at our events. We'll be doing a lot of networking, family fun days, things like that for veterans. So, ways to just kind of make that a little bit easier, maybe provide some fun, maybe zoo passes or something along those lines. Military people love to hang out together.
Mm-hmm.
We're a tribe ourselves, and so I just want to be able to provide long-term resources and community for military families.
Absolutely fantastic. If you're watching this interview and you are military and you can hear the message about the support, the pathway to success in a career, whether you dropped out of college, whatever you're doing, is that you can get a pathway. Reach out to Jennifer. Her details are underneath the portion of her portion of the video. You see a website, email address, telephone number. Reach out. Jennifer, this has been an absolute pleasure to bring you back on the show and kind of talk about some of the exciting stuff that's happening. And I'm so happy to be a small part of it and helping tell a small part of the world what you're doing. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure. I'll now hand it over to Dave for the weather.